beautifully unbridled, chasing the sun, elegant through the ages, born to run, blessed to be wild and free, so strong and proud, true American child, running Mustangs and wild.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Mustang Wild. Wow, what a week it's been. I'm on the road. I've been going to farms this week and watching people in their training methods. I got to visit with Julia Hunsberger and her Mustang Memphis, who you will get to meet in Franklin, Tennessee at the Extreme Mustang Makeover at the Williamson County Ag Expo Center. And that is in Franklin, Tennessee, right outside Nashville. And speaking of Franklin, I got to go to one of last year's E&M competitors, Aria Farmer's Place, and she rode on this beautiful Palomino named Lily. We'll find out about that horse, and we'll kind of catch up with another E&M horse that she's had, one of her very first ones, Maverick, who is now a lesson horse for kids. I know, it's a hashtag, but we need to start spreading the word. Mustangs can do anything. Hashtag Mustangs can do anything. Mustangs can do anything. Okay, you got it? Spread the word. This is the Mustang Heritage Foundation's Mustang Wild. Glad you're here.
Are you ready to rest?
Yeah. Yeah, ready to rest.
In a world where people once waited for years to adopt just one wild Mustang, Randall and Paula Carr are solely responsible for the successful adoptions of 30,000.
Well, I couldn't have done it without him, and he couldn't have done it without me.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, we made a good team.
I kind of took care of the outside, and she took care of the inside.
Yeah.
A lot of paperwork went with this thing.
Yes, about 14 pieces of paper for
with every horse.
It seems unimaginable, even to them, from answering a Bureau of Land Management advertisement to attending their first government meeting and suddenly recognizing all they were up against.
Disney World and also the Kentucky Horse Park, and then a lot of people that were into the horses for a living. So it was a lot of challenge there. And when we left, there was about 70 farms there. And when we left, we were very discouraged, saying that, we're just two simple little people that, wouldn't have a chance at it.
But their date with destiny couldn't be thwarted. Call it a wild card chance, lady luck, or a miracle of equine proportions. The Mustang Ranch was about to be theirs.
Little did I know when I read this ad that you had to pay to put the facility up yourself. And if it worked, that was great. If it didn't work, they just, say goodbye.
When we went to bid on it, we didn't think you had to have a facility. And we thought they just wanted a place to turn them out on pasture, and we had grass out here knee-high.
They also had a close-knit farming community in Robertson County where one person's need is another's opportunity.
Then all of our neighbors, his dad's neighbors and friends came out and helped. And what was so funny, the first facility we built out of was oak, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all oak tuba 6s and tuba 8s. It wasn't any steel here at all.
And the truck came in and backed up to the chute. And we were just going, taking a big breath that these wild horses were going to come off of the back of the truck. And out came some little burros. So we had burros for about a month or so. And we said, when are we ever going to get wild horses? And so But anyway, the burros ate the facility down. We had to get metal.
But eventually, when the time was just right, Randall and Paula got Mustangs. Did you ever think, oh my gosh, what have we done? This is a lot.
Yeah, we worked with those burros for about 2 weeks, and then they sent first load of horses in, and the government guy, he was here for about an hour when the horses come in, and we started working with them, putting halters on them and all that kind of stuff. And he said, okay, you guys have a good time, we're gone. And that's when their jaws drop,
We did get those wild horses. There's been 30,000 wild horses in this facility.
The central factor to the Carr's success was finding good homes for the wild Mustangs. So back in the day, they held a wild horse and burro festival right here on this ranch. At the time, it was like a scaled-back Bonnaroo or a little Woodstock with wild horses.
The whole field out there was PPs, concessions, all kinds of stuff. We'd have bands and dancing, and then the next day we'd have a show. And it got so big every year that the government asked us, please don't do this anymore.
At the end of the festival, their decision not to reapply for the federal contract and plans to retire didn't stop them from answering another call of the wild.
After we both said, oh boy, we're going to go fishing, the Fish and Wildlife Service called and said, you've helped the government. Can you please help us? And I said, no, we want to retire. And they said, well, just help us. We've got about 20,000 or something. Help us find homes for that. So we did.
The best thing that's ever happened to the wild horse is these guys that got all this resistance-free training started. Because years ago, they just tie them up to a pole and blindfold them and throw a saddle on them, and somebody would get on, they'd jerk the blindfold off, and away we'd go. But now, these horses are practically rideable before they ever get on, and it's really been a blessing.
And the blessings still overtake them. Even though some people thought Randall and Paula would just take their pick, they never once chose their own Mustang or burro. Now they get to keep the ones that are left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but that's not counting what's out in the pastures. There's probably 10 or 12 out in the pastures around here.
Extreme Mustang makeovers and coliseums around the country help the Carrs continue to spotlight the plight of the wild Mustangs and burros. But on Sunday afternoons, when all is calm and quiet, they steal away by horse and buggy, enjoying the satisfaction of their success.
Well, we just hope we made a lot of people happy and took care of a lot of horses.
I'm Annette Nole Hall on the wild side.
Good boy. Oh, that's way better than I thought. Good boy. Good boy. Wow. And I do expect him to pull back. So here he goes, but I'm gonna see if he'll let me stretch him. Good boy. Oh, for a Mustang to allow me to do this is pretty special. Good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, there we go. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Love that. Getting the head drop going. It's perfect. Love the head drop, eyes soft, ears flat.
Coming to the Williamson County Ag Expo Park in Franklin, Tennessee, the Mustang Heritage Spectacular, June 20th through 23rd. 4 days, 3 events, the Celebrity Freestyle Challenge, Extreme Mustang Makeover, and the Mustang and Burro Open Show with $150,000 in cash prizes. Plus, there's great shopping with vendors from all over the country. June 20th through 23rd, the Mustang Heritage Spectacular in Franklin, Tennessee. Brought to you by the Mustang Heritage Foundation. What started you in Mustangs? Because you didn't start out in Mustangs.
I did not. I started out with 3-day eventing. I was in the Welsh pony showing world. I did hunter jumpers, all that. And I moved up here and I went to college and I dropped out to train horses, and then I had been following Elisa Wallace forever, since I was like 11, and I'm 25 now. Mm-hmm. And I'd watched Wild Horse Wild Ride when I was a kid, and I was like, and Unbranded, I was like, this is something that would be so cool. And like, you know, I never dreamed I would do it, because it's like, they're wild horses. That's crazy, and I'm just over here riding, you know, finished things. And last year, when the, you know, it all came out on Facebook, where it was like, enter the Mustang makeover, I was like, okay, I might as well try. Like, I didn't have my round pen built yet or anything. I was just like, I'll apply. I probably won't even get accepted. I got accepted, and so I was like, well, and then me and my dad built the round pen that weekend, and we got ready for Metric, who's I won her in the bid, so she's my baby. She's gotten her started eventing now, but I just had been following them, and I guess I just bit the bullet, and now it's kind of an addiction. You start and you don't want to stop after that, because they're really just, there's something different about them. They heal you in ways that other horses, they don't have. These guys have so much emotion. They have so much in there. They've gone through so much. They've seen so much. They've had to survive. They really know what it's like to go through hardship. They know what it's like to be really scared. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people are able to connect with, because we've all been scared. We've all been in hard places. We've all gone through things on different scales, different levels. And when you're with these guys, once you get them to the point where you can like come up on them, I know, he goes, what? When you can come up to them and you can like give them love and you can lean on them, it's like, this is magic. You were fighting for your life, and now here you are letting a predator love on you, and you're accepting that. You are getting there. You're getting to the point of life is okay, and I think that's a message for like a lot of people, and something that you gain from Mustangs. It's just like, it all works out eventually. You start out all frustrated because you're like, gosh, how do I get to this point of having a finished horse when I start with a wild one? And then at the end of the 100 days, you're riding your horse into a giant arena, and you're like, how did I even get here? Why did I think it was hard in the first place?
Right.
And that's kind of like the same thing with healing, you know? You start out at the very bottom, and that's part of why it's so easy to connect with these guys. And it's just hard to put into words too, like what feelings they give you, and especially just how easily you fall in love with them. Because there's nothing like touching a wild horse. Yeah.
Hello, I am Brian Rasmussen, professional horse trainer, calf roper, team roper, and barrel racer. Today in the Redmond University, we will be talking about the Redmond Rock Crushed product. A few signs that I notice in my personal horses when they're lacking the minerals needed in their diet. Sometimes they will get an overall dull looking coat. Their flanks may get a little bit sucked up. And as horse owners, we know our horses better than anyone else. So if you can tell that your horse is just not acting like they normally are, maybe you should look at a mineral imbalance on your horse. A problem that your horse may have from the imbalance of minerals might come out in their behavior and emotions. Now, me as a trainer, I get a lot of different horses in that may have behavioral or emotional issues. A good place to start with your horse is giving them the Redmond Rock Crushed. It's just the same Redmond Rock here in a crushed form, easier for your horse to eat. The Redmond Rock Crushed is a good alternative to the rock on a rope, because this way you can ensure that your horse gets the proper amount needed each day. And this way, if a horse does not like to lick the rock, you can make sure that they still get the exact amount needed in their diet. Now, it is totally safe for your horse to have full-time access to the Redmond Rock on a Rope, as well as the Redmond Rock Crushed. One of my favorite things about the Redmond Rock products is that it is an all-natural product that's mined right here in the USA in Redmond, Utah. It has over 60 natural trace minerals that improve health, overall performance, and body condition. This can be seen in the coat, hooves, mane, tail, or other parts of the horse's body. It also includes electrolytes that improve hydration and encourage your horse to drink. Redmond Rock Crushed comes in a handy 5-pound bag, a 25-pound bag or bucket, as well as a case of 6 5-pound bags. It is affordably priced as well as covered under Redmond's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Crushed is a great product for all classes of horses, including pregnant mares and growing foals. Crushed is easy to feed, whether you want to sprinkle it on their daily hay, mix it in with their grain, and one thing to keep in mind is always provide your horse with fresh and adequate water. Now, us as competitors and trainers, we ask a lot of our horses, whether that's at home in the practice pen or out on the road competing. One of the perks of the Redmond Rock Crushed that I have personally noticed is that it keeps my young horses drinking the adequate amount out on the road. Another question I always get is, Brian, how are your horses so shiny? I believe it's from the Redmond Rock Crushed product. It provides the exact amount of minerals needed in a horse's diet to keep them performing at their best and looking their best. Whether your horse is an athlete, traveling and competing every weekend, or they might just sit in the pasture and you go on the occasional trail ride, this is a product that's great for any horse. Thanks for watching and learning more about Redmond Rock Crushed. For more information, visit redmondequine.com or contact the number listed below.
She's the barn favorite of all the kids because she's like, she takes care of them. That's why we call her Mama Harley.
Everybody, one of the things that we want to do is show support of the trainers who are turning these into versatile, viable animals. And nobody would think that these wild horses could be lesson horses, but they can be anything, right?
Well, the funny thing is once you give them a job, they're like all about it. They love it. So they know their routine. They like interaction. They're very like human affection driven, I feel. More so, honestly, than most of my domestics. I feel like they have that, they're more supple to like that bond, I feel. So, they make most of all my lesson horses on the Mustangs, besides I have an Icelandic.
Yeah. And this one we recognize.
Yeah, she's like, oh,
she's like, it's the sun, it's warm.
So
oh, it's so fun. She was gorgeous last year in your freestyle. Oh my gosh, that was just stunning.
7th home.
This one's a Mustang. You're his 7th home?
7th home. So he's had a lot of very bad, like botched training, to the point of like bucking so bad it's given people brain bleeds. But he's doing great now. The goal is to eventually get him to where more advanced people can ride him, which he's pretty much there. But we're sending him, this summer is going to be like the test phase of like going to shows, really getting him stimulated to see how he handles it. He just got back from a 3-day clinic in Florida with a bunch of hot barrel horses. So I was like, well, if anything's going to trigger you, it'll be some barrel horses, and he did great.
That's great. Well, you see him, he's so quiet like this, and he's got his little tail bag on, and so you just go, how could he have any problems at all?
Yeah. No, I've ridden some bucks before. His were pretty gnarly. So I trained him for a client. He was in a like tip training veteran program. So he's been here. It'll be 2 years in July. Ella, she was surrendered to me in a rescue case as an 18-month-old. Her and another Mustang had been sales authority, and the person had them in dog panels. So she had some rewiring to do, but she is literally like a born kid's horse. She's just so docile with children. Joe was my 2012. He's like the barn clown now. He unfortunately has like a genetic knee arthritis. So he got tested for that, and they're like, it is what it is, sadly. Apparently it's really common in Mustangs. So he's got that, but he's still a good boy.
And also something that people don't realize, if you have a horse in the wild, they still have health problems and stuff. They just don't get them taken care of.
Nope. And that's the thing. Like if they get, arthritis and a little bone spur, and it's already like put in that joint by the time we get them, and it's just a progressive thing. And they founder out in the wild. They you know, they get bowed tendons, all the fun things.
But they all have a job, even Joe with his issue with his knee, which you can see pretty obviously.
Especially at camp. He's the one that we do. So he's really good with Liberty stuff. So we'll do a lot of like red light, green light, and we'll do like some Liberty camp stuff. He's really good. If I literally had a treat right now and told him to park it, he would go up on his pedestal. That's his favorite thing.
Suggest if someone, there's so many people who said, you know, I'd really love to have a wild Mustang. They've worked only with domestic horses. Would you suggest they would rather get someone who's been training Mustangs first?
1,000.
I've trained all breeds and I love all horses. However, with the Mustangs, it takes a lot to build that trust and get that partnership. And once you do, they'll walk through fire for you. I was born on a ranch in Big Pine, California, and I always had that need to get back with horses. And a lot of people, they're just not quite educated enough to start a horse, especially a Mustang. So we offer our services at a discounted price to get them gentled and rehomed. We've rehomed 25 horses. We want to give the older guys more of a chance. We want to show their trainability because, you know, they need homes too, and they're tough and loyal. They just take a little bit longer. Today, we plan on pulling 6. 2 are going to Canada, 2 are going to Colorado, and then 2 to Southern California. They tell us what they want. Do you want a trail ride? Do you want to road? Do you want to do English? What do you want to do with it? Every horse will tell you what you need to know. You just need a lesson.
Here in the United States, nature inspires us, grounds us, and surrounds us. For the U.S. State Forest Service, people and nature are deeply connected. From the wood that frames our homes, to fishing, skiing, hunting, and hiking just outside your door, right down to the fresh water we drink and the clean air we breathe. We all rely on our national forests and grasslands, and for us, living here means being a part of the community. Tribes, cities and towns, ranches and farms, we all value these places we call home. That's why the Forest Service takes a long-term view. We listen and learn so everyone can enjoy the benefits from these natural resources. It's our privilege to work with communities to keep your national forests and grasslands healthy and productive now and for generations to come. We call this the greatest good, and we've been guided by this principle for over 100 years. People and nature benefit the most when we work together. So walk with us, tell us what matters to you, and let's find the greatest good together.
Well, here is Wyeth, aka Y, at 3 Lakes. And so this will be his first recognized at the training level. So he's moved up, but he feels nice and ready and confident. So just working here on getting to go down my center line. A little bigger at home, but he kind of was a little bit backed off. I lost the canter, but it was pretty scopy and jumped that vertical quite nicely. Then jumped that oxer really well. I know though, so for him sometimes the doubles can be a little tougher. He is on the smaller side. He's 14.2. But he just kind of peaked going in, and then I knew we were going to do the ad there. So then we moved on to cross country. And you can see the rain is really coming down. And he's just marching on forward. His ears were forward, and he was looking for the jumps with the flags. And here we're going to go into the back field. Jump that one nicely out of stride. And now I'm working here. We have a bit of a sunken road type fences, so a log on top of the hill here. She's really good through. And then we worked our way towards the finish to end up posting a double clear round, and we finished up in 8th place.
The bond and connection is just so much stronger with them than I have ever had with any of my domestic horses. To be able to see horses out in the wild in their natural habitat and just, being horses and their social interactions is absolutely phenomenal. Horses do have such deep connection between one another. I feel like with Mustangs, because they are so different, they literally come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, and colors. I feel like a privilege to be able to have one of those horses and kind of take care of them and call them mine.
Running Mustang wild. Running Mustang wild.
This is Mustang Wild, and that's our show. Thank you for subscribing, for following, for sharing, and for sending us content. Send it to me, Devin, at MustangHeritageFoundation.org. And in the coming weeks, we're going to meet our new executive director. He is a rodeo guy, and he uses his horses a whole lot differently than I do. I have an old folks home for horses, but he is a rodeo guy. We're going to find out what he does. And, it takes all of us. It takes all of us and all of what we do to shine the light on these amazing horses. So join us, won't you? MustangHeritageFoundation.org. If you're not a member, we'd love to have you.
Wild and free, so strong and proud, true American child, running Mustang wild. Running Mustang wild. Running Mustang wild.